Hi, I'm John Trishler from SPVparts, and today we're going to show you how to install our new Grille marker light kit for the 21 Plus Ford Bronco. And we've got 3 different versions of this kit, and we're going to go through the 3 different versions that you're going to select from so you know how to install each or which one to select. So first, the standard kit is going to come with, we're going to move these out of the way real quick, with your 3 marker lights, with the harness that's going to plug into those 3 marker lights, and it's going to come out to an end here that's going to connect to something else to power them. The standard kit is going to have our headlight marker light connector. This plugs into your headlight, and then that is going to plug into your harness here for your marker grille lights. That's the standard way. If you already have this, and you're running this headlight marker light adapter to another set of lights, fog lights, etc., that have an amber backlight or something, you're going to have this extension connected to it over the grille, and that's going to run the rest of the way up to your switches. With that kit, you're going to select the 2-way splitter instead. So you don't have to have 2 of these, you're just going to have 1. But with a 2-way splitter, we're going to unplug this extension, plug our 2-way splitter in between, just like so, to our extension, and then that's going to give us what we need here to plug into our marker lights. All right, so that's option 2. All right, the next option is for those who kind of want to do their own thing. If you want to run them to a switch, if you want to run them to a fuse tap and so on, you're going to still get your 3 marker lights. You're going to get the harness that plugs into those, and then with that connector you're just going to get a single add-on connector that you're going to be able to plug into another wire to run to a switch wire, to run to a fuse tap, and so on. So those are the 3 different options that you're going to pick from. The standard with the headlight marker light connection. If you have that, you're going to get the one that has the 2-way splitter to integrate into the one you already have. And if you don't want to do either one of those and you want to do your own thing, you're just going to get the single connector with the one that doesn't have either of those things. But that's the 3 kits you're going to choose from, and we're going to go ahead and get started and show you how to install it. We're going to get started by taking out the push pins here on the top cover. You're going to lift this off. Put that out of the way. This little piece right here for your airbox can pop right off. You can notice there's little grooves there. You can kind of lift up on that and wiggle it, and that piece will just pop right off. All right, so this is our headlight adapter that's going to plug into the back of the headlight that's going to supply our power for our marker lights. So the easiest thing to do is going to be to get your airbox out of your way so your hand can fit behind that headlight. So if you take a 10mm socket and you just remove the side bolt here. So once you remove that bolt and you put that aside, there's a rubber grommet on the bottom side here. You're just going to wiggle that and it's going to pop loose. Then you can move the airbox up and out of your way so that you can access the connector on the back of the headlight. So then you're going to press the tab down so that you can release the connector and pull it off. This is the tab right here on the back that you're going to press down. That releases the connector. Now here's our headlight adapter, and we're going to plug that into our factory connector, just like so, until it clicks. And now you're going to notice that the other end is going to plug back into our headlight the same way that we unplugged the first one until it clicks. So our rubber grommet that we just pointed out, that's what you want to get this lined up with, see that, so that the airbox falls back into place. It'll go right into that rubber grommet, and then you can push down. You'll kind of feel it kind of pop into place. And once it's into place, you can go ahead and reinstall your bolt on the back side. This is plugged into the back of your headlight, and this cord, you'll notice, is run up here, and we ran it just underneath of that black cover that we just removed. This keeps it up and out of the way, keeps it off the radiator. When it comes back around here, comes out the other side, and then this is the plug-in where it goes into the extension. So if you have other lights or you're going to install other lights, you can go ahead and plug in the extension, and you can take that up to your switch wire area. If you don't, you can save that extension back. You don't have to install it right now. And if that were the case, then you're going to be able to plug this right into your other lights, into your marker lights, right here. So again, if you don't use the extension here, this can plug right into that marker light harness. So it's really simple. If you do have other lights and you've got the extension run up there, and you got the kit with the two-way splitter, you're simply going to unplug this, then going to take your two-way splitter, you'll plug it into that end of your marker light connection. You can plug that back into your extension, and now you have another port to plug in for your grill lights. So the next thing we need to do here to pop our grill off is just remove these 4 bolts right here on top that hold the grill in place. We're going to use that same 10mm socket. So we want to make sure that we remove anything that's going to be attached to the truck and the grill as we remove the grill. So there's a little clip right here. We can push down on that and remove the wiring here for the camera. And there's another one here for the window washer, as you can see. And we should be able to just squeeze on that right here. To unplug that one. You'll notice that this is kind of an oval shape. That's because that's where you squeeze to release that from the window washer. Next, we should be able to remove the grill. So we can just kind of wiggle that. At the top, there's some clips in there, and it should pop out of place. You hear that click. And again over there, and just kind of work it slowly. There we go. And our grill's removed. All right, so on the Badlands and some other ones, you've got this trim panel here. So we need to really pop that off to be able to get to the back here where we're going to snap in, especially our first one in the middle, and make sure we've got clearance here. So there's some little star bit screws here. So it looks like this one's a T25. And we should have 2 more right here at the front. All right, so now we should be able to lift this off, just like so, and have access to where we need to insert our connectors. All right, so here's where our camera was. So we know that's in the center of the grill. So here is the center point here on the top side. So if you want to put it on the top side, then you're going to want to kind of line that up so you know where that is. And now we can tilt this up. You'll notice on your marker lights, this is slightly curved. It's shorter here on the top and it's longer here on the bottom. Well, the grill actually curves. And so you want to make sure that you line up the top to the top and the bottom to the bottom. The easiest way to tell is going to be these little notches. The top has one notch and the bottom has two notches. All right, so now we'll go ahead and feed this in here with the top with the one notch. We should be able to slide this in and it should go click. Just like so. So there's one. Oh, there it goes. I had to drill, I had to twist it a little bit. So that clicked into place just like that. And now you can see here from the front side, we've got our first one in. And from there, you're just going to decide where you want to position the other two. So the most common, distance that people like to usually put them are 2 in between the middle one. So that would be in these 2 locations. However, if you wanted to spread them out further, you could. That's up to you. In fact, if you wanted to get really crazy, you can get 2 grill marker kits and you can put some at the bottom and some at the top. I think I've heard people talk about doing that as well. All right, so we've got our next one here. So we'll snap in our second one. You just push that down and it should go click. There it goes. If you don't hear it go click, kind of push up on the bottom side of the top side until you hear those click in place. You don't want them to pop out and be loose. All right, and then the next one, we're going to across here as well. Slide that in. That's our top side. Should be able to push that down. And there it goes. Here it goes click. So now we've got 3. We'll turn it around here so you can see better. Now we've got our 3 marker lights in place. All right, so now here on the back side, we've got our marker lights in. We've got our cords kind of coming out the top and kind of looking for the best places to bring those up so that we can route our wiring. It looks to me like, so you've got a groove right here. You've got another groove right here where your bolt goes, another one here where this bolt goes. Obviously you don't want to get it under the bolt, but you can get it beside that little panel there where it kind of sandwiches up. Same thing here, get your wiring there, beside it. Try not to pinch it too much. And you want on this middle one, you kind of want to go to this side of your bolt because you'll see this little slot. That's kind of like a alignment tab that goes in this little slot right here. So kind of go to the opposite side there and then bring that up. This one, you don't have that tab. And this one, it's not actually in. And there's a little slot there that's not even where those bolts go. So I think that kind of gets them clear. And we should be okay now to put our bolts back in place. Now you might find another place to route this. If you do, that's fine as well. You could also probably kind of just zip tie the whole thing behind here and bring it out the back side. You're just going to see that wiring possibly through your holes there in your grill. So if that's what you want to do, you can, and you can kind of bring it out to one side or the other. But we're going to try this one first and kind of see how this looks. And so now we'll go ahead and start putting our screws back in. Now the thing about these is it's a tight fit back here. You've got your wiring back there. You don't really want to over tighten these because you might push the marker light out. So you don't really want to over tighten them. Just get them snug. Make sure your wires aren't pinched too much between anywhere where the screws are going in. And these have a protective sleeve on them too, so where you are kind of pinching them, that's going to be protected. And then we've got our last two here by the camera. And once you've got all those snugged down, you can flip it back up and just check. Make sure everything is still in there flush like it should be. Looks like it is, so we're good there. And then we can go ahead and plug in our harness to these. Now the one thing you're going to want to watch is let's make sure that you've got the right direction for this, because this is going to plug into your marker lights. You want this going toward the battery side. So this is the passenger side, so we're going to start with this end. Now we've got them all plugged in. All right, so now we should be able to kind of secure our wiring here. And you can see there's already wiring run. So try to kind of get this down in there. You want to make sure that it's clear from the active shutters here on the back side. You don't really want to zip tie this tube because this is for your window washer fluid, and you end up squeezing too tight and you end up blocking that from washing off your camera. We kind of get these secure in here just like this. Same thing with this one. Get these down here secure and out of the way. And this is our last one, but we don't really have anything to zip tie it to. So kind of make sure it stays clear. Make sure that our clips here, a place for our clips, are clear. So now we're going to go ahead and try to install this back on the truck. And again, you want to keep your tabs clear here. This is going to slide here on top. And now we're going to line our grill back up, and we want to line up all the tabs, all the guides, and you should be able to just kind of push it in where it'll click. And different tabs. And make sure everything is clicked in correctly. So push along the whole thing and make sure it all clicks in. And you want to make sure that your wiring is up and out of the way. We've got this one just a little bit loose right here, just because there wasn't anything to zip tie it to quite yet. But now that we've got it in place, we can kind of run it along here, and once we kind of see where our top panel is going to go, we can go ahead and zip tie that as well. So now we want to go ahead and plug in the things that we disconnected. Our window washer fluid and our camera. So let's start with our window washer fluid. And we lifted this up out of the way because it was full and it was just kind of dripping out. So we'll go ahead and plug that back in, and it should click. And there's our little hole we have a push pin in. And then this is our camera. So we'll line that back up and then plug that in, and we're good there. Again, we routed our wiring here from our marker adapter across this groove right here and out the other side. All right, so here's this. So now that's out of the way. We've got everything else pretty well secured. You'll notice this, we didn't put a zip tie right in this area here, but here's your hood latch. So this is probably a good place to put another zip tie to maybe kind of get this wire back out of the way. We'll make sure that stays out of the way. I think I'm going to put one more on there. Now the next thing we want to do is put our bolts back in to secure our grill. So we got that secured. Then we should be able to put our top panel back on. And again, we want to just kind of look at where our wiring is going to go from there. Probably just kind of route it out here. Okay. Now that we've got everything kind of lined up there, we should be able to put our push pins back in. Okay, and then remember our last piece here, we've got our grooves here on the bottom and the top, and this should just kind of snap in place, just like so. And then we can put our last push pin in there, and we're set there. So now all that's left is just making our final connections here to power on our grill lights. So we've got our power. Make sure again that we're clear of our hood hinge there. We've got our two-way splitter here that we plugged in. We talked about here earlier, in between our extension here for our headlight adapter. Now we're just going to plug that into our two-way splitter, so we should have power there. And the last thing we have here is a ground. Now we gave you plenty of wire here for your ground. Again, it's just a ground. So wherever you find a bolt that you want to put it to is fine. You can put it on the battery terminal if you want. You can put it on the side. Again, anywhere you find a bolt that's got a good ground here on the body, and you should be fine. So we've got enough room here. We'll just go ahead and route this the rest of the way up to the firewall, because I don't really trust, obviously you don't want to put it under there. You don't really know where you're going to get a good ground through here unless you go to the battery. So you certainly can go to the battery, but rather than clogging up those terminals, we'll just run it up along here, and we can kind of run it behind. Some panels here. So I'm just going to put it under this ground right here. Most important thing on these are you don't drop the bolt. So it's better to use a socket than an impact wrench, something like this. All right, so now I'm just going to feed this through. Again, the nice thing about this is we know it's a good ground because Ford's already got a ground on it. And now that we've got that tightened down, we should be in good shape there. The last thing we need to do then is secure the rest of our wiring. So we can just take this wiring and take any excess, and we're just going to kind of fold that over on itself. Again, as far as the routing goes, this is just kind of some examples. You might find a better way you want to route it than we did. Obviously this stuff should clear your hood. You don't want anything to hit it, but I think this is kind of bundled and out of the way. We're going to zip tie these two areas, and then we're going to see if everything works. All right, so here's the drum roll. We're going to see if they work. Right, okay, yeah, he's going to hit the button. There it is. And so we did it right. So there's your install on the marker lights for the grill of the 21 Plus Ford Bronco. See how simple it is to install. And I think we all really like the smoked look, don't you? Yeah. Grandpa Mac approves. All right, we want to thank Grandpa Mac for letting us use his Bronco to install these lights. All right, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and visit us at SPVparts.com for this kit and others and other accessories for your vehicles. Again, we'll see you next time.